Hello world, I'm Robin Catling and this is Write On. Join me in my author journey as I delve into the craft of writing, bringing you tools, tips and lessons learned the hard way so you don't have to. Wrestling with book categories. Right now I'm wrestling with book categories. Where do my books fit in the melee of marketing? Who are they for? The thing is, a book's category is not the same as its genre. The current breakdown of book categories guides the publishing houses and book retailers in marketing books. Less collaborative, more like grudging collusion, book categories determine how and to whom books are marketed. Children's, middle grade, young adult, new adult, and adult, but not adult, if you know what I mean. It's a minefield, and the publishing industry wants you to think it knows the layout, until readers and retailers decide otherwise. Confused? You, me, and half the planet. How would you categorize Harry Potter? It's launched as children's fiction, except adults kept reading it. Kidnapped and The Three Musketeers are adult fiction, but they are perennial children's favourites. Treasure Island? Not a children's book. Oh, MG, YA, NA, and A. Now we have terms such as middle grade and young adult, YA, describing books. A simplistic view is middle grade is for older children. YA is for teenagers. In search of more specific targeting, the publishing industry also invented new adult. As far as I can tell, it's for young adults who still act like teenagers, but want adult fiction that isn't middle-aged like adult fiction. What qualifies where? All those dystopian adventures, The Hunger Games, Divergent, The Maze Runner, those are young adult, except when they're not. And what is a young adult anyway? YA is the only category known by initials. A few people refer to middle grade as MG. Nobody calls adult A, and hardly anyone knows what new adult is, so perhaps NA is appropriate. The hip cats. The marketing categories go something like this. Children's books. Reading age 0 to 8 years, mostly. Middle grade. Reading age 8 to 12, featuring characters in the 8 to 12 age range. No violence, sex or swearing. Simpler style, light, fast-paced. Licensed to include whimsy. Young adult, YA. Reading age 12 to 18 with characters in the same age. There's some violence, not graphic, some light profanity, fade to black sex. Fast and in the moment, YA books are about self-discovery, finding a voice and coming of age. New adult. Reading age 18 to 25, featuring characters of the same age. There seem to be few limitations. Also fast and in the moment, it explores themes of adulthood, going to college, graduating, getting a job, moving out. New adult delves into the rites of passage of adulthood. Plenty of attitude, sweary, with considerable leeway for smut, or spicy as the booktubers describe it. Adult, the new default. Any reading age, anything goes. You can even use words with more than 3 syllables and long sentences. That's how adult it is. The only trouble is the categories keep spreading and changing. As the original audience for middle grade and YA grew up, those categories expanded. Publishers pushed adult themes and content into YA to sell more books. Now it's harder to find the boundaries. Harry Potter was middle grade until it finished in YA. Potter grew up with its audience. Genre clash. Then we get the multiple pile-up of categories and genre. For example, romantasy is now a distinct genre. You have a choice of fantasy romance or romance fantasy, with or without profanity and spice. Romantasy crosses YA and adult for themes and content, but frequently has prose of middle grade or lower, much lower, and tropes. So many tropes. The truth is, most readers buy books according to genre or author and not by category. But if you're trying to sell books, category matters. It affects your comparable titles, comps, and also bought recommendations. Reviewers have expectations and will downgrade you for too much smut or characters who act too young, too old, and too dumb, because they bought a genre book. So I'm wrestling two giant snakes at the same time, both of them wriggling around, hard to hold on to, and liable to constrict my ability to sell books. Don't you love a good metaphor? I could be a writer, you know. My fantasy series contains adult themes and some upsetting scenes. There's a lot of blood and violence, though not explicit, domestic abuse, and a tiny bit of fade to black spice. My protagonist is 19 going on 37. Adolescent whining combines with middle-aged existential angst. I'm not selling this well, am I? In genre terms, this is high fantasy without elves or dragons. There's no quest, no MacGuffin, no Dark Lord, no Chosen One. It's not grim enough or dark enough for grimdark. It's not epic enough for epic. There's hardly any romance. There's no magic school, academy, or arena. Help me out here. Pro Writing Aid tells me my prose is mostly middle grade, which is an improvement on gibberish. But middle grade, it clearly is not. How do I categorize my fiction? YA? Adult? 3 books in? I'm still wrestling with book categories. That's all for this time. Thanks for stopping by. You can like and subscribe to the channel, or go to robincatling.info to check out the blog.